Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be showing you how to start a Shopify store from scratch. We're going to go through step by step how you can go from your product to first customer. So if you've ever thought about starting an online business, Shopify might be the first thing that comes to mind. Shopify is one of the most popular e-commerce stores because it means that you can actually set up a store without any coding experience. It makes it super simple for beginners and advanced users alike to set up a store, start selling, and it gives you a lot of flexible, customizable options in order for you to set up a theme that works best for you. If you've never heard of Shopify, what is it? Well, Shopify was founded in 2006 in Ontario, and basically what it is a out-of-the-box, all-in-one solution which allows you to create a digital storefront and start selling without any coding, design experience required. Now, why is Shopify so popular? I suppose one of the main reasons that it's so popular is it's because it's really easy. Super simple to get set up. It's really easy to start selling your first product. And honestly, it's pretty cheap as well. One of the great things about Shopify is that it absolutely does everything. So if you've had no experience coding or hosting a website, you don't need to worry about any of that. Shopify makes it really easy for beginners to start selling products. It takes care of the themes, it takes care of the selling, it takes care of the actual hosting of the website. It does all these things and a whole lot more. And if you're more advanced, you can actually dive into more of the integration side of things. So you can get an online store that is fully customizable to you and your brand. It's also important to mention that Shopify is not just for selling physical products. This is a huge misconception. On Shopify, you can sell digital services as well. So I mentioned that Shopify is a fully hosted e-commerce platform. Now, there are two types of platforms. You can have hosted, like Shopify is, or you can have self-hosted, like WooCommerce is. While there are a lot of differences between the two, self-hosted and hosted, the main difference, I believe, between the two is the fact that with self-hosted, you actually need to buy your own hosting. And then you need to set up your site on top of that. Whereas Shopify, it actually does that all for you. The main benefit of this is you don't actually have to handle any of the technical aspects of setting up your own site, like security, because Shopify is an out-of-the-box product that does it all for you. As soon as you sign up, you're pretty much already ready to start selling. With their templates, they make it really easy for you to get going straight away. Not only that, Shopify also gives you a direct native payment processing platform. Shopify Payments makes it really easy for you to start accepting payments straight away. And it means that you don't actually have to worry about going through a third-party integrator. I also mentioned that Shopify is cheap. Now let's talk about cost. Shopify offers three main plans: Basic, Shopify, and Shopify Advanced. There are a few others which are a little bit more niche, like Shopify Starter. Now this lets you actually take payments and sell directly through messaging and social media channels. But the main plans are the three that I just stated above. The great thing about Shopify is it's really cheap to start up because for first-time users, Shopify offer a 3-day free trial and then just $1 for your first month. So you can really get a feel of whether the business is something that you actually want to look further into. Alrighty, now that we have the basics out of the way, you understand what Shopify is, you understand the capabilities, how simple it is to use, we're gonna go through step by step in this guide how to create an account and set up your Shopify account so that you can start selling straight away. The first step is very simple. You go to shopify.com, you click Start Free Trial, and you create an account. So the great thing about Shopify is that the onboarding is really seamless. They're gonna ask you a bunch of questions which may seem irrelevant. However, it's all to provide a more personalized approach just for you and your business. Now, you can choose to skip these if you please, in which case all you'll need to give Shopify is an email address and then you're ready to get started. So, once you've created an account, let's get into what it looks like when you've logged in. The first thing you're gonna notice is you're gonna see a dashboard. And this dashboard is kind of where you do everything. The main things to note is at the top, you see a few things. You see a search bar, a notification bar, and your profile details. Now on the left of the sidebar, I want you to notice a few different things. There are a series of what's called functions designed to help you create and grow your store. it's got a lot of information categorized into different headings. These are orders, products, customers, content, finance, and analytics. What I'd recommend is that you actually have a play around with these functions. Because once you start exploring and seeing what Shopify is capable of, you can really understand how to better suit it to your business. It's also important to note that this is just vanilla Shopify. If you want to get more complicated, you can. There are a whole series of APIs and integrations which you can use on your store to make it even more customized. But for the time being, for a beginner, these will do. So now you've set up your store, it's time to add your first product. So what you can do is, once you've logged into Shopify, once you're on the main dashboard, to the left, there is a section called Products. Click into that section, and this is going to take you to a page where you can view new or existing products that you may have. To add a new product, you click the Add Product button, which is usually located towards the top right of your screen. Now, this opens a new page where you can enter all the details about your product, such as the title, the pricing, available inventory, shipping, and finally, search engine listing. Now, search engine listing is often overlooked, but I think it is one of the most critical things that you need to be aware of as a business owner. SEO is vital. It is really important for people to find your business and the products that you're selling. And so Shopify allows you to actually customize the URL, the title, and the meta description of these products so that people and customers can find you. E-commerce SEO is a whole different thing, and we'll have another video about it. But in the meantime, I really think that you should have a look on Google, learn some basic e-commerce SEO, and optimize your products so that Google can crawl them and customers can find them. Now, you filled out all the information above, it's time to add your images. You can drag and drop your images directly to the upload button. There are a couple of best practices for this. The first thing is that the images should be clear, but not too big. Now, big images and large file sizes slow down your website. So what you need to do is find images that are clear, that are visually beautiful, and that are under 200 kilobytes. And after that, what you can do is provide details such as the price, the inventory, and the SKU if they're applicable. If you want Shopify to actually track the stock levels for you, you can set up inventory tracking. Do this by heading to the inventory section. Now, if your product has different variants, for example, you have different colors or you have different sizes, then Shopify has an option for this too. There is a section called variants. You can set up the variants in the variant section of the Shopify dashboard. And what you can do is, to make it easier for Shopify to track the stock, you can set up each of the variants with a different SKU. Lastly, if your product needs to be shipped, it is important to set up the shipping information. You can input the weights and the dimensions of the product yourself, which helps Shopify calculate the costs when shipping to different nations. Finally, you can actually add discounts. Now, this is optional, obviously. If you do want to promote your goods or service a little bit more, you can go to the discount section and you can hit codes. Now, once you hit codes, you can see there are a number of discount options that you yourself can provide. Feel free to have a look, choose which one you want to do. You can do fixed amount, you can do percentage off. There's a lot of flexibility for you to choose from. Once you've done all that, and once you've filled out all the necessary information, you can preview the listing and you can preview the product. And if you're happy with it, hit save and you're ready to go. So once you've added your products, it's time to focus on the appearance of your shop. Now, this is where people find it really fun to use Shopify because they make it really easy for you. And I'm going to keep repeating that Shopify makes things super simple for you. Now, Shopify have a range of themes that you can select from, and they're free. So I recommend starting with that, because that's a great place for you to have a look and browse through the options that you have available to you. If you are interested, e-commerce platforms, we've put together an article where we review the best free themes. So take a look, I've linked it in the description below. Have a look at that and kind of make your own decision. Now, if you want to find a theme that's designed for a specific purpose, you can do that as well. That's in the collection section. Let's say you have a bunch of products that are categorized under a similar theme or a collection, for example, women's footwear products, that's what you're selling. You can go to the collection section and find a specific theme that is relevant for your product category. It's great. Now, once you've selected a theme, you can actually see how it looks by visiting the demo store. And that's a great functionality to have because it means you don't have to go live straight away. You can actually see what it looks like, and it's a great way to preview what your store will look like with that specific theme. And if you don't like it, don't worry about it. You just choose another theme. It's great. Once you're happy with your selection, you can hit try theme to set it up for your store. Most themes let you actually customize certain elements. So for example, you can customize the title, the blog, or the product pages. You can do all that. So make sure you choose one. If you want that customization, make sure you choose one that allows. So now that the theme's done, it's time to add a name and a domain for your Shopify store. Firstly, it's time to name your store. Now, when you name your store, it's important that your name actually reflects the product that you're selling. Now, that might sound strange to say, but it's really important because it means that users and customers will get a great idea about what you're selling, and it means that Google can pick it up a little bit easier and it enhances SEO. To name your store, you go to Settings, you click on Profile from the store details, and here you'll be able to update the default store name and add any relevant contact information, including phone numbers and emails. Now let's talk about domain name. By default, your domain name will be hosted by Shopify with your store name .myshopify.com. So for example, if my shop was selling, for example, shoes, it would be, and the store name was Rose Shoes, it would be roseshoes.myshopify.com. Now this is a subdomain and it's not super professional. Most customers probably won't look to buy from a shop that's hosted by Shopify, so it's important to customize this and change your domain name. Shopify is a domain registrar, and if you have an idea of a domain name, you can actually search it in the Shopify registrar and see if it's available. If it is, perfect. You can just use that one. On the other hand, if you already have purchased or own another domain, it is super easy just to link those two up. Shopify allows you to connect that, so it means that Shopify hosts your store and people can still find your store with the domain name that you currently have. So now that you've set up the front end of your e-commerce store, it's time to set up the back end. In this section, we're going to be focused on how you can get paid, the shipping and delivery, and any duties or taxes you may have collected. So the first one, most exciting, it's getting paid. How do you actually collect revenue from all the sales that you're making? As I alluded earlier in the video, basically Shopify has this thing called Shopify Payments. Shopify Payments is amazing. It's already integrated into every single Shopify store. To set up payments, what you're gonna do is go to your Shopify admin dashboard. From there, you wanna navigate to your settings menu, which you can find on the bottom left. In the settings menu, you click on payments to access the payments providers page. Shopify offers a number of different payment gateways, but Shopify Payments is the easiest one. It's already integrated in your dashboard and it is ready to go straight off the bat. To set this up, you have to click on Complete Account Setup, and that's under Shopify Payments. You'll need to provide your business details, including the bank information where your sales proceeds will be deposited. For more customer convenience, consider adding additional payment options such as PayPal. You can do this by selecting Activate PayPal Express Checkout, and then following the prompts to log into your PayPal account and then authorize the connection with Shopify. That way, when someone checks out, they'll also see the ability to pay with PayPal. You'll also notice an option that says Manual Payments Methods. This is for lesser known methods of payment, such as cash on delivery or direct bank deposits. Now, the shipping and delivery section on your dashboard allows you to choose how you want to deliver the goods. The shipping settings, I would say, are primarily dependent on the business model that you choose to employ. If you are shipping yourself, I do recommend going with the discounted rates that USPS provides with Shopify stores. If you just integrate it, it will automatically calculate your shipping rates, provided you've added the correct details and dimensions of your product. But if you are going with drop shipping, I recommend you go with the price-based rates. If you choose this, the price will depend on the quantity ordered. That means a customer who purchases $50 worth of goods will pay more than a customer who purchases $20 worth of goods. But it is important to note that any sales you will make are subjected to taxes and duties for the relevant government. Shopify, thankfully, has a tool that makes this really easy for you to collect the taxes that are appropriate to send as part of your legal process. It's super simple. You just add your location and Shopify will add in the relevant taxes. Shopify also offers comprehensive tax reports, which make reporting super easy, and it means you'll never have to worry about the tax man. Now, when it comes to legal settings, it's important to set these up correctly so that you are protected. Many e-commerce stores need to have a level of what's called internal governance. It means that you're going to have to set terms and conditions and policies in order for you to be legally protected and make sure that nothing goes super wrong. There are 4 main policies that you need to be aware of and that you need to set up for your store. The first is, of course, a privacy policy. This lets visitors know how you plan on processing their data. You then have a refund policy, and obviously this is what happens if a customer is not happy. What can they do? How do they get refunds? Do you offer them? We have the terms of service. This is a legal agreement on how customers can access your services. Then we have the shipping policy. Do you offer 7-day shipping? Do you offer free shipping? Anything to do with shipping will be covered under this guideline. While this may seem really complicated and convoluted and really difficult, don't worry, Shopify once again makes this really easy. So it's important to know that Shopify gives you the ability to generate these kind of cookie cutter policies. And so what that means is that it may or may not be super relevant to your store. What I recommend is generate these policies that Shopify offers, and what you can do is then customize them and make them relevant perfectly to your store. Under pages, you can actually create and add extra pages for each of the policies that you create. So with that, that's your front end and your business side sorted. But there is one final thing that I want to talk about before we end this video. That is tracking and Google Analytics. Being data-driven is so crucial if you want to succeed in the e-commerce space. Now, Shopify has fairly detailed analytics in their dashboards, but if you're like me, Google Analytics is the North Star. I recommend you guys setting up Shopify and integrating it with Google Analytics so you get detailed information about your traffic and who's visiting. It's really important. First step is creating a Google Analytics account. Once you have the account, you need to set up a new property specific to your Shopify account. Now it's time to integrate. Log back into your Shopify dashboard and go to the online store section. Then under preferences is where you can link Google Analytics and Shopify together. You're going to see a field to enter the Google Analytics tracking code, and it's important to paste the tracking ID provided by Google here. A critical recommendation is to enable the Use Enhanced e-commerce option. Now, the reason for this is it actually allows a more detailed analysis of the e-commerce behaviors, including tracking transactions and product performances directly from within Shopify. And for anyone looking to dive even deeper into the analytics, enabling the e-commerce option in Google Analytics is key as well. So in summation, turning on both the Enable e-commerce and Enable Enhanced e-commerce reporting, both those options will allow you to access valuable data and really understand the customers that are coming through to your site. You'll be able to understand conversion rates, drop-offs, number of site visitors, and much more, enabling you to provide the best experience for your e-commerce store and allow you to help optimize your store for the best sales and the best conversion rates. Before I conclude, if you do want to build an online store, but this is too overwhelming or you don't really know where to begin, e-commerce platforms has the solution for you. We have a service where our team of experts will design and will build your Shopify store from scratch. It'll be fully customized. It'll have all the enhanced integrations specifically designed for what you need. I'm going to link our custom store services in the description, and if you're keen, feel free to check it out. That brings us to the end of the video. Guys, I hope you really enjoyed. It's really easy to make a Shopify store from scratch. We went through all the processes. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. I read every one, I'll answer all of them. And if you did find that video helpful, please drop a like, share it to someone who might find it interesting, and let us know how you go with creating your first online store.